Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Faith, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for clicking this video. So in today's tutorial, I'll show you how to make this cozy or drapey cardigan. It's so versatile and I love how classy it looks. So if you want to know more, please watch it till the end. Another thing, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe down below because I will really appreciate that, and that will support me in making more videos like this. For this video, I'll be using three colors. I'll be using this brown, gray, and orange, and I'll be using this Robinian. It's 100% acrylic and it's 4-ply. Yeah, it's very thin, so I'll have to double it, but you can use a medium weight yarn or a light worsted and a 4mm crochet hook or number 6 hook, pair of scissors, and a tape measure. And then what you're going to do is you're going to work in one piece from right to left. The first panel will be our right panel. That will be from where you want it to start from until the armhole, and then from armhole to another armhole will be our back part. The back part will be measurement of your shoulder to shoulder, and then the last part will be the same as the first part. So let's just start our work. To begin, make a slip knot and then chain a multiple of 4. We're going to chain the full length of our sweater. This will be our cardigan, so we're going to chain from here to here. So our foundation chains will be from the top to the bottom because you're working lengthways. So make a slip knot. I already did a slip knot, and then insert your hook and chain a multiple of 4. So my foundation chain is going to be 128 chains. So chain 128 and let's meet when you're through. I've already made my 128 chains. So our first row, we're going to skip 3 chains from the hook. So this will be our first chain, then the second chain, and the third chain. So on this fourth chain, this is our first, second, and third. Then on this fourth chain, you're going to insert your hook, then yarn over, pull through. You should have 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook in the same chain, yarn over, pull through. So you should have 4 loops. So this will be 1, the first 2 is 1, the second 2, then the third 2, and the last 2. Then yarn over, pull through all those loops. Then chain 1, skip the next chain, and on the next chain insert your hook and repeat what we did. Pull through, have 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through. You should have 4 loops, then yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, chain 1, skip the next chain and repeat that in the next. Then chain 1, skip the next. So repeat this until the end of your row. So let's meet when you're remaining with your last 2 chains. So I'm here, I'm remaining with 2 chains and I've already chained 1. So I'll work my last mini bean on this last stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert, and then yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, then chain 1. So our first row is complete, and this is how it should look like. So our second row, I've already chained 1, so turn your work, and then chain 2 more so that they be 3 chains. Then in this first mini bean, there's a space here, so you're going to go in that space and work another mini bean. So yarn over, pull through, and then your first mini bean is created, chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, and on this second mini bean we're going to go inside this space here, set your hook, pull through, then yarn over, set your hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through the 4 loops, then chain 1. So that's what you're going to do on this row 2 until the end of our row. So just continue, and let's meet when you're remaining with only 1 mini bean at the end. I'm through with my row and I'm remaining with 1 mini bean here. So what I'll do, I'll skip that whole mini bean, and then in this space between the chain 3 and the mini bean, I'm going to work my last mini bean. So work your last mini bean in that space, and then chain 1, 2, 3 and turn. So repeat our row 2 pattern. In this first mini bean you're going to go inside this space and work our first mini bean, then chain 1, go in this second mini bean and work a mini bean. So repeat that till the end of the row, and let's meet when you're remaining with only 1 mini bean at the end. I'm here at the end of my row, and what I'll do, I'll skip this mini bean and then I go right in this space between the chain 3 and the last mini bean. I hope you can see it clear enough, this space, and then work the last mini bean in that space. Then chain 3 and turn. So what I'm going to do here, I'll just repeat the last row pattern until my work measures 14 inches horizontally for a size small or an extra small, and then you can add few more rows until you're satisfied with the first panel. And then let's meet when you're shaping the armhole. So I've made 57 rows of this mini bean stitch, and if we measure our work, it should be approximately 14 inches. So here we're starting here, and then our work measures 14.5 inches, which is okay because we wanted our half of bust measurement minus 3 inches. So since I'm working a size small, 34-inch bust, so half of 34 is 17. 17 minus 3, that's 14. So approximately 14 inches, which 14.5 is not bad. So we're going to proceed by shaping our first armhole and then working the back. So I already chained 1 to end my row. What I'll do next, I'll just cut my yarn and then I introduce the second color for the back. So turn your work. So to introduce new color, we're going to go at the base of this chain 1 that we did, and then we attach our yarn there. So just insert your yarn, I already made a slip knot. Then chain 3. So to avoid this one from coming out, you're going to tie the two of these ones together. And then in that first mini bin space, make your first mini bin. So after placing the first mini bin, chain 1 mini bin in the next mini bin, mini bin in the third mini bin, chain 1, and then continue with this mini bin until your total mini bins are 14. So you already made 1 2 3. You're going to continue in the next 11 mini bins, and then we're going to shape the armhole. So continue until you have 14 mini bins. So I already made 14 mini bins here, because we can count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So this one is the part that will drape, or this is the collar of our sweater. This is how it will look like. So if you want a longer one, you can continue with more mini bins. If you want a shorter one, you can shorten it. But mine I did with these 14 mini bins. So after that, you're going to chain 33 because you're going to shape our armhole. So measure here. If your size small, you're going to measure 7 inches and then count the mini bins that are 7 inches. If your size large, you're going to go with 8 or 9 depending on your armhole depth. So I'm going to chain 33 because I want mine to be 7 inches, and already measured 7 inches are 16 mini bins. So 16 mini bins by 2, that will be 32 inches, 32 chains, sorry, because you have to cater for the mini bin and the chain 1, mini bin and the chain 1. So 16 mini bins are 7 inches. 16 mini bins by 2, that is 33. So chain 33. So I already have my 33 chains. So what I'll do, I'll count 16 mini bins. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So I'm going to skip these 16 mini bins, and then on the 17th mini bin I'm going to work my next mini bin. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 1. So what we did here, we skipped 16 mini bins, and 16 by 2 will be 32. So the chain 1, or the extra chain, was to close this mini bin here. I hope you understand, and I'll explain more when you're coming back in the next row. So what you're going to do here is just continue with working 1 mini bin on each mini bin until the end of the row. I've completed my row and already chained 1, so chain 2 more and then turn your work. On this first mini bin, on this space here, we're going to make our first mini bin on this row. Chain 1, mini bin on the next mini bin, and repeat that until you reach your armhole. So continue until the last mini bin to our chains that we made at the armhole. So here I'm remaining with 1 mini bin to our chains. So I'll work the next mini bin here. Then I chain 1. So we had 33 chains here in our armhole. You might have less or more, but it should be an odd number. Then after chaining 1, we are going to skip this next chain here, and then on the second chain we work our next mini bean. So the yarn is a little darker, but I hope you can understand what I'm doing. Then chain one, skip the next chain, and on the next one here place another mini bean. Then chain one, skip the next one, on the next one place a mini bean, and continue with that until you remain with 2 chains here at the end. Sorry, I'm remaining with 3 chains, not 2. There should be 3 chains. So you're going to skip the next chain. So you have 3, skip the first one, and on the middle one work your next mini bean, chain 1, skip this chain 1, and on this mini bean here in this space work your next mini bean. So this is how your work will look like here at the armhole, and then continue with mini bean on each mini bean until the end of this row. Work your last mini bean on this space between the last mini bean and the chain 3. Then chain 3, turn your work. So continue with your pattern, and then let's meet when your back measurement measures 15 inches if you're working a size small. So I'm through with my back part, or the second part. So if you measure it, it measures 15 inches. So 15 inches is my shoulder to shoulder measurement. So I added 60 more rows because my first panel was 57 rows. So this one is 60 rows because I want to end my row on the upper side. So this is our upper side, then our armhole, so that when we're starting the next row, we do it the way we did on this first part. So we're going to introduce our third color here. So take your color, but if you're working with one color, just chain 3 and then continue with that row. So I'll go in this chain 1 that we made here, and then I attach my yarn. Then chain 3, and in that first space, in the first mini bean, place your first mini bean, then chain 1 and tie these loose ends together. So when you have done that, you're going to continue with your mini beans in the next 13 stitches or 13 mini beans. So place a mini bean on this next mini bean, chain 1, mini bean on the third mini bean, and then repeat this until you have 14 mini beans. So I already have my 14 mini beans, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. So what you're going to do, I already chained 1, so add 32 more chains so that your total number of chains are 33. When you have 33 chains, count 16 mini beans. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. We're just doing what we did on our first armhole. Then on this 17th mini bean, you're going to insert your hook and make another mini bean. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook, then make your next mini bean. So this is our armhole. Chain 1, mini bean in each mini bean until the end of this row. When you reach the end, place the last mini bean between the chain 3 and this last mini bean. I'm sorry, my yarn is a little bit darker if you're not seeing it. Then chain 3, turn your work, mini bean in the first mini bean here, chain 1, mini bean in each of the next mini beans until you reach the last mini bean to our armhole. So continue and let's meet when you're remaining with only one mini bean to the armhole. So when you're here, you're going to place your mini bean on this mini bean, chain 1, and on this chain 33, you're going to skip the first chain. So skip this first chain, and then on the second chain you're going to work a mini bean. So insert your hook on this second chain, yarn over, then go back, pull through, and then pull through all those 4 loops. Chain 1, skip the next chain, and on the third chain, next mini bean. So repeat that, skipping 1 and then working mini bean on the next chain until the end of this chain here. So continue and let's meet when you're remaining with only 4 chains left. So I've made 15 mini beans and I'm remaining with 1 to complete the 16 that I skipped on this other side, and I'm remaining with 3 chains, not 4, sorry. So 1 2 and the third one is here. So I'm going to skip this one, work a mini bean on this second one, chain 1, and then skip this chain 1, and then on this next mini bean here in this space, continue with your mini beans. chain 3. So when you're through with this row, you're going to turn your work and then continue with your mini beans on each mini bean until you have the same number of rows as your first part. So if this first part you had 57 rows, the second part should also be 57 rows. So it should be the same count as this side to this side. Because these are the front part. Yeah. So I'm going to continue until I have 57 rows, and then let's meet when you're working the edging and then the sleeves. So I went ahead and completed my rows for this last part. I did 57 rows as the first part, and my work, as you can see, it ends at the bottom of my piece. So this is the right side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make the border all around our cardigan, but you can as well just leave it like this if you're okay with how it looks. Now for the border, you're going to chain 1 and then work a reverse single crochet in each mini bean. So in this first mini bean, you're going to work a single crochet and then skip this chain 1 space, and on the next mini bean stitch here, place the second reverse single crochet. And then the third mini bean, and in each mini bean until you reach the end of this row. Now I'm remaining with the last mini bean and the chain 3. So what I'll do, I'll go in the last mini bean and make a reverse single crochet, and then in the chain 3 space, so I'm here at the end of my row. What I'll do, I'll go in the last mini bean and work my last reverse single crochet. Now what I'll do, chain 1, I already chained my 1, and then turn your work and work towards or along this longer side at the top. So in this first chain 3, work your first reverse single crochet, and then the second one you're going to work on this mini bean. So insert your yarn anywhere in that mini bean and make your reverse single crochet. Go in the next chain 3 and then the next mini bean. So for this mini bean, what you're going to do, you can either decide and go around the whole of it or just insert your hook in that stitch. Go in the next chain 3, the next mini bean, so repeat this until the end of this top part. Now when you reach the end of your row, after placing the last reverse single crochet on this last mini bean, you'll need to chain 1 and then turn your work. Turn your work and work along this side downwards. So place the first reverse single crochet on this first stitch where we had our first mini bean. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then finish it. Then the next mini bean, you're going to work on this next space where we have our second mini bean. So each single crochet is going to be worked on the spaces with the mini bean stitches. So go right inside that stitch, go inside the next, the third one here, then the fourth one here, and then repeat that until the end of this row. And let's meet when you're now working the bottom row of your cardigan. So I'm also through with this side, and this is how my edging looks like. And I'm only remaining with this side. So we are through with this side, the top part, and then the opposite side here. So to do the bottom, you're going to do the same pattern as we did here at the top. You're going to place one reverse single crochet on the first chain 3 space here. Chain 1, sorry. After chaining 1, place 1 reverse single crochet here. And then the next one on this mini bean. The third one in the chain 3 space. The next on the mini bean. So you're going to repeat this pattern until the end of this row also. And let's meet when you're now joining our end to the first reverse single crochet. Working your last single crochet on this first mini bean here, you're going to cut your yarn, and then using your needle, just feed in the end, and then insert it on this first reverse single crochet. And then weave in the end of this tail. Now to work the sleeves, you're going to attach our yarn here, working from the right side. We're going to attach our yarn at this bottom mini bean. So take your yarn, make a slip knot, and then attach it on this mini bean here at the bottom. So you can decide and go inside the whole mini bean or just this space. So we'll work in the whole mini bean. Then chain 1, and inside the same mini bean you're going to make a mini bean. So insert your yarn, pull through, have 2 loops, yarn over, insert your yarn, pull through, have 4 loops, sorry, then yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, chain 1, and then you're going to go in this next mini bean, so here, and work your second mini bean. Then chain 1, then go to the third one, and in each mini bean until the end of this side. So let's meet when you're here at the top. So when you reach here at the end, you're going to work your last or your another mini bean here, and then you turn your work to the opposite side. Chain one, and then turn your work. So skip this one that we made. So skip this one, and then on this second one, continue with your mini beans until the end of this side also. So I'm through, and I have 16 mini beans on this side, one here at the top, 16 on the previous side, and then one here at the bottom. So we're going to skip this one because it's the mini bean that we worked this one here. So skip this one and then attach with a slip stitch on this first mini bean. So your first row is complete, and on the next row we're going to make a decrease. So turn your work and then work it from the inside. Chain one, and then on this first mini bean where we placed our slip stitch, you're going to insert your yarn and then work your first mini bean in that stitch. Chain one, and then the next two mini beans you're going to work two mini beans together. So insert your hook in this second one, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook in the third one, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops. Chain one, and continue working 1 mini bean on each mini bean until your row remain with the last 2 mini beans. So let's meet when you remain with only 2 last mini beans. So I'm here at the end, I'm remaining with 2 mini beans. So I'm going to do 2 mini beans together also here. So insert your hook in this second last one, yarn over, insert your hook in the last one, pull through, then yarn over, chain one, and join with a slip stitch on this first mini bean. So if your previous row you had 36, now I had 34 in the previous one, so this one I'm going to have 32. Okay, turn your work on the right side, chain one, mini bean on this first mini bean, and then mini bean on each of the next mini beans, and then when you reach the end, join with a slip stitch. When you reach the end of your row, join with a slip stitch on the first mini bean, and then turn your work and work the 4th row from the inside. So what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between this row 3 and row 4 without any decreases, and then when you reach row 10 you make a decrease, row 11 to 19 without any decrease, row 20 make a decrease, 21 to 29 without a decrease, then 30 a decrease, and then continue with that, placing decreases on the 30th row, 40th row, and the 50th row. And then you want to continue with your pattern now with the constant rows, number of stitches in each row, until you get your desired length of your sleeve. And then let's meet when you're making the cuffs now. So just continue. So this row 4 will have the same number of stitches as row 3, but you're working it from the inside. So continue with that, and then let's meet when you're through with your sleeve part and now you're working the cuffs. Always remember to decrease on the 10th, 20th, 30th, 40th, and the 50th row. So I'm through with my sleeve, and you can see this is where we started, and I did 70 rows. And then after making your last slip stitch, you're going to chain one and then turn on the right side. So what you're going to do here is going to go with, you're going to place 32 single crochets around this place. we had 22 mini beans. So what you're going to do is you're going to distribute 32 single crochets along this area. So we can, after placing the first single crochet here, you're going to go inside this chain one space, make the second single crochet, and then the third one on this third mini bean. Skip this space. On the next mini bean, place a single crochet in that space, and then single crochet in the next mini bean. Skip this space, go in the third mini bean, this space, and the next mini bean. So you're going to repeat this until the end. And if you had 22 in this row, 22 mini beans, you should have 32 single crochets because you're adding 10 around this sleeve. So I'm here at the end. I've already done 30 single crochets and I'm remaining with 2 mini beans. So what I'll do to make them 22, I'll just go in this mini bean, make my 31st one, and then this 32nd one on this next mini bean, and then slip stitch on the first single crochet. Sorry. So on this second row, so this was our first row of the cuff. So the second row of our cuff, you're going to chain 3. The chain 3 will act as our first double crochet, and then on the second stitch place a double crochet and double crochet in each stitch until you reach the end of this round. So I'm here at the end of my round, and what I'll do, I'll slip stitch on the third chain on this first double crochet. So identify the third chain, then make a slip stitch, chain 3, double crochet, and then on the next stitch you're going to make a front post. So insert your hook between the first and the second stitch, and then let it pass through the second and the third one, then pull through yarn, make a double crochet. Then on the third stitch you're going to make a back post double crochet. So insert your hook from the back in the space between the second and the third one, and then let it go inside the space between the third and the fourth, pull through, then make a double crochet. So you're going to alternate between a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet until you reach the last stitch on this round. So do that, and let's meet when you're at the last stitch. So I'm here at the end of my round. I'm remaining with 1 stitch here, and since the previous one is a back post double crochet, I'll make a front post double crochet on this last stitch, and then I join with a slip stitch on the third chain here on our first stitch or our first double crochet. So the chain 3 will always act as a double crochet, then chain 3. And now what you're going to do from this third round to the next rounds, we're going to make a front post double crochet on a front post double crochet. So since the second stitch was a front post, you're going to make a front post, and then the third stitch was a back post, you're going to make a back post. So place a front post on a front post and then a back post on a back post until the end of that round, and then you're going to repeat round 3 until you achieve your desired cuff length. And for this sweater I already have 3, I added 12 more. So let's just continue with that, and let's meet when you're through with your 15th round of the cuff or your desired round of the cuff. So I'm here at the end of my 15th row. This is how it looks like. So to finish off, I'll just slip stitch on the third chain, and then I cut my yarn. Chain 1, and then cut your yarn. So the only thing that is remaining is now to weave in the loose ends, and that's the end of my tutorial. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe and comment, and tell me how your general view of the pattern. And if you make your sweaters, please do tag me on Dream Crochets on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be happy to see what you come up with. So thank you again for watching, and please stay safe, and let's meet in another video. Bye.